Trespass to person. Introduction. Trespass to person is a tort that protects the personal liberty, bodily integrity, and freedom of individuals. It involves direct and unlawful interference with a person's body or freedom without lawful justification. Unlike negligence, trespass to person is actionable per se, meaning no proof of actual damage is required. The intention or directness of the act is important. Trespass to person consists of three main torts: assault, battery, and false imprisonment. Meaning of trespass to person. Trespass to person refers to a direct, intentional or negligent act that interferes with a person's body or liberty without consent or legal authority. The interference must be immediate and direct. Even slight interference may amount to trespass. The law aims to protect dignity, safety, and freedom of individuals. Actual harm is not essential for liability. Kinds of trespass to person. Trespass to person is divided into three categories: assault, battery, false imprisonment. Each protects a different aspect of personal freedom. Assault. Meaning. Assault is an act that creates a reasonable apprehension in the mind of a person that he is about to suffer immediate physical harm. Physical contact is not necessary. Mere words do not constitute assault unless accompanied by threatening gestures. The threat must be real and imminent. Assault protects mental peace and sense of security. Case law, Stevens v. Myers, 1830. Facts: the defendant advanced towards the plaintiff with clenched fist during a meeting and threatened to strike him. The defendant was stopped by others before any physical contact occurred. The plaintiff feared immediate violence. Held: the court held that the act amounted to assault because it created a reasonable apprehension of immediate physical harm in the plaintiff's mind. Battery. Meaning. Battery is the intentional and direct application of physical force to another person without lawful justification. Physical contact is essential, but the force need not be violent. Even slight touching may amount to battery if done without consent. Battery protects bodily integrity and personal dignity. Case law, Cole v. Turner, 1704. Facts: the defendant intentionally touched the plaintiff in anger during an argument. The touching was direct and without the plaintiff's consent. There was no lawful justification for the act. Held: the court held that the least touching of another person in anger constitutes battery. Any unlawful physical contact amounts to battery. False imprisonment. Meaning. False imprisonment is the unlawful and total restraint of a person's freedom of movement without legal justification. Physical force is not necessary. Restraint may be by threat, authority, or words. Total restraint is essential, even if it is for a short time. This tort protects personal liberty. Case law, Bird v. Jones, 1845. Facts: the plaintiff was prevented from using a particular pathway on a bridge but was free to go in another direction. He claimed that he was falsely imprisoned. Held: the court held that there was no false imprisonment because there was no total restraint. Partial obstruction does not amount to false imprisonment. False imprisonment without knowledge. False imprisonment can exist even if the person is unaware of the restraint at the time, provided actual restraint exists. Case law, Meering v. Graham White Aviation Co., 1919. Facts: the plaintiff was detained in a room by guards without his knowledge while an inquiry was conducted. He later discovered that he had been confined. Held: the court held that false imprisonment had occurred. Knowledge of restraint by the plaintiff is not essential to establish false imprisonment. Essential elements of trespass to person. Direct interference with person or liberty. Lack of lawful justification or consent. Intention or negligence. Immediate and direct act. Defenses to trespass to person. Consent. Self-defense. Legal or statutory authority. Necessity. Remedies for trespass to person. Damages. Injunction. Habeas corpus in cases of false imprisonment. Criminal proceedings where applicable. Conclusion. Trespass to person is a vital tort that safeguards personal liberty and bodily integrity. By recognizing assault, battery, and false imprisonment as actionable per se, the law provides strong protection to individuals. Courts strictly guard against unlawful interference with person or freedom. Understanding trespass to person is essential for LLB examinations and practical application of the law of torts.